All right, so we are in the car on our way to the airport.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to inspire you. I'm here to speak something to your life. Wait, but let's go. I see them dreams.
All right, so we are in the car on our way to the airport, flying out to Israel in about an hour and a half. Very excited. This is a trip that was on my bucket list before the opportunity ever presented itself, so very excited to go and see all the holy sites and just kick it with a lot of my favorite people. Okay, we just made it to the airport and we were told that the gate is about to close in 10 minutes, so we made it by the skin of our teeth. This is my typical travel outfit. I like a hoodie, sweatpants. You know, you don't have to worry about a belt when you get on the plane. I can just pull the hoodie up, pull my hat down if I'm up.
Yo, what up?
You down?
All right.
Good.
All right, ready?
Yeah,
Donna, how are you?
All right, say something, Ariana. I want to test my microphone out.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
All right, just landed in Tel Aviv after a 13-hour flight with a 2-hour layover in Frankfurt, Germany. Slept a lot on the plane, so I feel great.
Hello, welcome. Fine, thank you. Welcome. Hi. Hi. The luggage will be on number 8. Pick it up and we'll meet here behind the column, okay?
Dressed now is perfectly okay for tomorrow too. In other words, no need to dress in any special way, any different way.
By the sea. It's an ancient city. Behind us is the theater that they would have held the different shows and entertainment. Okay, here we are at Mount Carmel. This is where Elijah called down fire from heaven, slaughtered 850 false prophets. Okay, just got checked into our room in Tiberias. And what you're looking at here is the Sea of Galilee. That is where Jesus walked on water, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful view. So just wrapping up our first full day in Israel. Excited for the rest of the week. We're going to spend a few nights here in Tiberias before going to Jerusalem for the rest of the trip. Our tour guide is really amazing, a guy named Tony. He's been a tour guide for 51 years. He just knows everything about the country, all the history. He knows the Bible inside and out and is really able to explain it all. We're in the elevator. It's lit. Look, there's wall going down. Elevators outside.
Going to the beach, it's
Look
really
at the
nice
moon.
there.
It's like a blood moon right over the Sea of Galilee. It's huge.
You seem to be liking that little microphone. Oh yeah, what about this?
Peter denied Jesus 3 times in Jerusalem. Do you remember why? Why did he do that? That was to get even for curing his mother-in-law.
So right now we're in a town called Capernaum. This is our first stop of our second full day here, and this was the town that Jesus performed most of his miracles in. There's actually Peter's house is here. They were able to identify it as where he lived, and they built like a church or something on top of it, and there's a see-through floor, which I'm going to go into in a second and record. So behind me is the Sea of Galilee, still in Capernaum, and I was just talking to my friend, and I was like, it's so weird being here. It's like being at an amusement park, except it's real. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the craziest feeling, the craziest notion and thing. Like, this happened. You know what I mean? The God of the universe walked where I'm at right now. You know, the being that created the universe and spoke it into existence was here. You know what I mean? It's just it's mind-blowing, to be honest. It's just the strangest thing.
Ella se puso tocando.
I always check out.
We're on what is known as the monogamy-only.
Still my soul sing your praise unending. 10,000 forever.
You think the Beatitudes took place, and really cool. There's a church built on the spot, Catholic church, and they gave us about a half hour. I just kind of broke off to the side and went and found a quiet place where I could overlook the hill, where, you know, they thought Jesus sat when he taught, and I read the Beatitudes, and it was awesome. You know, it was just got some time alone to kind of reflect and think, and I was just kind of realizing, like, you know, there's these Jewish kids, his disciples, you know, they were young, they were mostly, I think, teenagers, and, you know, they're sitting around, they're listening to him teach him. No idea the significance of what's taking place. You know what I mean? And I don't know. It's funny how you can be in the middle of something so important and not even realizing it when it's happening, you know? All right, we just got to the spot where they say Jesus fed the 5,000. And as you can see, there's like tons of tourists everywhere. It's really wild because it's like Christians from all over the world come to this spot, and this is just probably a typical day here, you know? So it's really neat. You know, you don't think about it. You don't think about how many believers there are all over the world. And, you know, this is the place where it all started.
At Caesarea Philippi, but here is where Jesus says to Peter, "Do you love me?" 3 times, remember? And then he says, "Feed my sheep." In other words, for the Catholics, that is the sign that he has been anointed to be the head of the flock, the head of...
Kind of go down by the water and find some rocks and things, and spend some time praying.
This is it, ladies and gentlemen. The most significant time in history. And this is where it took place. Alright, we're about to go on a boat on the Sea of Galilee. After that, shrimping was easy.
I mean, I've seen miracles. I've experienced miracles. Yeah. But in times where I'm like, is God really going to show up? You know what I mean? Is it really going to happen? Like, is he really going to see me through? Like, the vision that God's given me in my life, is it really going to come to pass? Like, all those doubts that occur, I feel like it's just the human side of all of us.
PC too, like every week.
He's got a ton of shoes. You got it?
I'm sliding backwards. Thank you.
You're welcome. We just got done walking through the ruins of the ancient city of Dan from about 3,700 years ago in the Israelite kingdom. You can see the walls here, really cool, a lot of history. Okay, so we're here at the Temple of Pan, which would be in the Bible, Caesarea Philippi. It's the spot where Jesus took his disciples and he asked them, "Who do you say that I am?" And it's when Peter answered him, "You're the Son of the living God." And he said, "You know, you're correct. And upon this rock, I'll build my church, and the gates of hell will not stand against it." So we heard a really cool message about the meaning of all that. So this was a site of a temple where they worship pagan gods, and they used to do animal sacrifices and throw them into this cave that I just walked by. And it's 40 miles away from, you know, where Jesus and his disciples kind of resided, which is, you know, kind of a long way back then. And he brought them this far. Like, why? Because that's a pretty far distance to travel. Why did he bring them here to make that statement? And you know, a lot of people think that he was talking about Peter when he says, "Upon this rock I'll build my church," but the message that we just heard was that he was saying, "Upon this rock," meaning this place, "I'll build my church, and the gates of hell will not stand against it." And you know, they used to call this cave the gates of hell. They would throw animals into it, into the abyss, make sacrifices to him. So he was saying, like, I'm going to build my church on this place. Like, you know, you think about like the church or religion in general, and you think about, like, God only wants to use good people. You know, he doesn't want to use people with a past or people that's made mistakes. And you know, Jesus was making a statement. He was like saying, look, upon this place of you know, a filthy place, a place that, you know, good Jewish boys would never have came. He's like, upon this place I'm going to build my church, and the gates of hell won't stand against it. And it just kind of sends a message to say, like, God wants to use broken people. He wants to use people that have made mistakes and screw-ups, and, you know, people that have just done things all the wrong ways. He wants to build his church on those people, and, you know, hell's not going to stand against it. So, I don't know, for me it was just really powerful to hear that message, because, you know, lots of times I've questioned myself and thought, like, who am I? Why would God want to use me? You know, like, considering my past and the things that I've done, the people that he does use. So, I don't know, it was just really powerful.
Gadara is where the demoniac of Gadara came from, the man possessed by demons, where Jesus...
All right, I'm standing here on the banks of the Jordan River about to get baptized. If you don't know, this is where Jesus got baptized by John the Baptist. So pretty cool. Not everyone on the trip is doing it, but a lot of us are. And you know, I figured, like, how often do you get to get baptized in the same body of water that Jesus got baptized in? So I didn't want to miss it. There's Jesus right there, actually.
I'm trying to get pressure. Not trying to.
Uh-huh. That's what the last guy said.
Better hold it high. Still with the fees. Donna and Chris are lowering it. Okay, Billy.
Start with you. Yeah, repeat after me. I, Billy. I, Billy. Take you, Ariana. Take you, Ariana. All over again.
And I vow
To never stop pursuing.
to never stop pursuing you.
See you with a kiss.
All right, so we're in Cana in Galilee, and this is the site of the first miracle. This is where Jesus changed the water to wine. Pretty cool. A lot of people here, a lot of tourists. They actually built 4 churches on this site, different denominations or different whatever sects of Catholicism, I think. Greek Orthodox, Armenian. There was a couple different others you mentioned, but this is basically, where it happened in this general vicinity. So Billy and Ariana just renewed their vows. So did a couple other married couples, and we held the prayer shawl over their heads. It's supposed to be good luck for the single people. So, but yeah, that's it.
And they have a back and forth, and he says some offensive stuff to them. So they take him to the precipice. They try to throw him off, and he walks right through the crowd and just kind of ignores whatever they were doing. But yeah, I guess this is believed to be the top of the city where they would have thrown him off.
Did they throw him?
No.
No, he walked right through the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
He was gangster Jesus.
Totally gangster.
In most movies, that part's depicted in like a synagogue.
He would have read it in a synagogue.
Yeah.
And then they said they would have took him up here and throw him off.
Oh, okay.
He was like, excuse me, pardon me, pardon me.
Not today.
Yeah. I'll let you kill me though.
That's Nazareth down there below, where Jesus was from.
This is amazing.
All right, we just stopped at the grocery store. Now we're at Gideon's Spring, about to have a little picnic. You should get down and lap it like a dog. You remember in the story in the Bible?
I can't do that. I have to.
You first, and then I'll do it.
I told Brandon, get down. I said, get down and lap up the water like a dog, like they did in the Bible story. The story where they get down on one knee, or the people lapped it up. And after he did it, Billy goes, they're doing a foot washing upstream.
That's why it'll be clean by the time they get up. Yeah. This is the first round of majors. We've got some more in it.
We should probably try to make a line on each side or something.
Now that is what you call a Scooby snack.
Yeah.
Right? It's a little unstable.
Wow.
Okay, it's Saturday morning. We arrived in Jerusalem last night. We just came out to an overlook, looking over the city of Jerusalem. You can see behind me is the Dome of the Rock. There's the old city walls there. It's really breathtaking. So much history here. So many stories that I've read about in the Bible took place right there. It's really wild. So supposedly, like, everything that we've experienced so far has been the appetizer. They said Jerusalem's the main course, so really excited to see what they have for us the next 5 days.
Wow, we miss you guys dearly, but we are here in the greatest city of the world, the center of the world in Jerusalem. Right behind us is the Temple Mount. You see the gold dome. That's right there. Right there is where they say in the temple the Holy of Holies was. Man, this city is a melting pot of the world, the holiest city in the world, and God has been doing amazing things in our hearts, and the hearts of the team. And so, man, we love you guys, but we would love for you to experience this also. And so we invite you next year to join us here in Jerusalem to experience this for yourself. And so until then, we love you guys. We're praying for you right here in Jerusalem, the city of God. And we'll see you guys back next week. Love you.
Nobody can see it. Look, see what I'm doing? See what I'm doing? Nobody saw. He said, do not touch the trees. I hope nobody saw. You're a rebel, Tony. You are a wild man. I like your style.
Okay, so I'm here in the Garden of Gethsemane, and this is where Jesus prayed the night before his crucifixion. And he said, basically to God, not my will, but yours, where they say he sweated great drops of blood with his disciples. And Pastor Chris just challenged us to kind of get away and pray and talk to God and, you know, put ourselves in a position of surrender if there's anything that we're hanging on to that maybe isn't God's will for our life, just to kind of let it go. Basically say, not my will, but yours. So just got done talking to God, having a little time with him, and I feel like I'm in a position of surrender, you know, like, but then again, I have ideas for the way my life will work out, you know, whether it be city fam or home or my relationship status or my finances or just whatever, you know, Nicaragua, all these ideas that I have that I'm striving to make happen. And I'm like, hey God, look, if this isn't your plan for me, I let it go. You know, I want what you want from me, whatever that is. So just checking my heart, you know, seeing if there's anything in there that, anything that I'm holding back from him, anything that I'm trying to make happen on my own, you know, that maybe he's not wanting for me, and letting go of any of it, you know, to say, hey, look, if I'm single forever, if I never have money, if I, you know, if City Fam doesn't become a worldwide movement, if the book never sells another copy, if, you know, we don't build a mission house in Nicaragua, if home never opens, all those things don't matter. It only matters what he wants for me. You know, that's it. And to make sure that I'm in that position and then ultimately be okay with it, you know, which is the real challenge, because there's been times where I'm depressed or get into just a crappy, my attitude sucks, and it'll be because my expectations aren't being met, really. Like, this isn't working out like I thought it would or when I thought it would, and, you know, putting myself in a position where my attitude is good, you know, where I stay positive and I stay humble and, you know, treat people good regardless of the outcome of all this. So that's it.
Thank you so much for watching my video on YouTube. I wanted to take a moment here at the end to tell you about something that is not only important to me, it's important to the world. Recently I wrote a book entitled Why Waiting Works: How Fast Sex Prevents Us from Finding True Love and Long-Term Happiness. It has an average 5-star review on Amazon, and it's written so practically that even readers that didn't agree with my stance on waiting have told me it caused them to reevaluate their lives. So if you or anyone you know is single, or if you or anyone you know is in a physical relationship and not married, I am imploring you to pick up a copy of my book. It literally will take you a maximum of 4 hours to read it and has the potential to change the course of your life. It's one thing to do something that you don't completely understand. It's a whole different thing to do something when you know exactly why you're doing it. And that's what my book is really doing for people. So I just want to thank you in advance. Again, this is something that's important to me, but it's even more important for the rest of the world. And I could really use your help to get the message out. Thank you.
A buried diamond don't sparkle till somebody find it. Somebody work to dig it up and work again to shine it. What you waiting for?